I've been a playwright for the last 30 years. I have a small theater company. We don't have a theater. They have a wonderful space in the Movie Alley Group. They don't have a theater company working there. Let me finish. What we basically have to do is three things. It's not rocket science. You have to fix the theater so it's comfortable for people to come see a show.
Fix it how, sir?
New seats, better lighting, better soundproofing. Yes, I understand the problem with that, but also a better soundboard. You need to have the facilities there, first-class facilities, for somebody to be able to produce a play.
Specify, sir, facility.
I just did.
Okay.
Better seats. If the city has money, they should relook at the architecture of it so that it's a comfortable space.
Okay.
You have to have better lighting. You have to have a backstage.
Okay.
You have to have a lighting board and a sound board.
Okay.
All new. And if you have any sense of the future, you should have camera spots there so anything that goes on in there can be broadcast worldwide because we have a TV station, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
Secondly, there should be no rent for community groups. So what I suggest is the following, that the entity that manages this space enters into co-production agreements with any group that wants to produce a show in that theater.
Okay.
Then it becomes a matter of timing rather than bureaucracy. To open the door as wide as we can to the young people in the neighborhood, to the older folks. That theater should be operating 24/7, morning, day, and night. Especially on Sundays, we should have puppet shows there. At the least, if you put theater in that show 24/7, it opens the door for everything else.
Okay.
People come to the gallery. People eat at the restaurant across the street. That could be an economic development boom for the whole community. And we shouldn't just be looking at the Julieta Booths. There are 3 other theaters in the neighborhood. We should make a holistic approach to all 3 and create a theater district in the neighborhood, which I've been talking about for 10 years.
Very well. Okay. Thank you, sir.
And can I, Eugene, I want to thank you because I'm going to just say that, you know, my conversation with the city for the past 3 years has resulted out of the input that I'm getting from the community. And I remember the conversation you had where you laid out the vision of creating some sort of a mini theater kind of, you know, hub in El Barrio based on the resources we have. So the activation of that space is vital, and it's been really a limitation. And so I want to thank you for that because it helped inform my decision.
I also, like my brother here, was involved in trying to get space in that building. And I was very enthused about it, and I even was told, I was visited, and I filled out all the paper, and I went upstairs to see the room that was possibly mine, so I could move my office from my apartment, where I save rent for my organization, to that, and it never happened. It just sort of disappeared. We were told, well, other plans were made, so we were aced out. Like a lot of other organizations in our community, we just kept going. And so now I feel that I want to follow up. I downloaded the application. I downloaded it immediately to look at it, and I want to fill it out, and I want to see what possibilities there are for our concerts to be a part of the cultural development of that center and of that hall.
We're talking about space. We're talking about justice for this community. We're talking about a school that's on 98th Street, closed for what? For 6 years already? And the city was supposed to do something for art with artists in that space. That would have been more space. But that's not what happens. They have us fighting over 2 rooms. And when I say they, I'm talking about the powers that be. Not you, but the powers that be. And this is always what they do. And so we start picking at each other and fighting at each other. And I'm not saying that you're wrong about Fernando, but I'm also not saying that you're right. I'm saying that that's not what we should be talking about here. We should be talking about getting more space for the organizations who need space. 98th Street is still closed. You can't tell me the city can't do in that school what they did in Julio Burgos, 99th Street, excuse me. What is it, PS 109? Yeah. PS 109.
What I would like to see as a vision inside that space is that we have a lot of young people that's dying in our community or fighting a month because we have so many different products and they don't understand about the struggle that happened in East Harlem. So one of my visions that I would like to see to get a lot of these young people off the street and murdering each other or in prison is having a multicultural media, cinema. to where they can look at Palante, Siempre Palante, so they can look at Eyes on the Prize, so they can look at influential movies of Hispanic and Black pioneers of activists who fought for this community, so then they can have some more pride about themselves living in here. That's what we need to be talking about, not going after different people. So that's all I would like. That's one of my visions, to have a cinema.
Let's keep with the vision.